Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to day 4 of reading. This is unit 1, week 3 in our wonders. And today we're going to be doing some comprehension questions and talking about compound words. And we're also going to read just a really short story. So let's start with reading our story. Let me share that with you. Okay, so our story for today is called Sharing Polkas and Pitas. So let's look at our genre first.
Genre: expository text. Compare texts. Read about how people in two different cities share their cultures.
All right, so we haven't really talked much about expository text yet. Can someone tell me what expository text is? Right, it's a type of nonfiction, so this is true. And it's like an essay. It's telling us about something, it's giving us information, oftentimes teaching us about something. Okay, so let's read about how people in Chicago and how people in Detroit share their cultures.
Sharing polkas and pitas. You can count the stars on our country's flag. There are 50, a star for each state. You can also count cities in those states. The number is big. There are more than 19,000 cities in the United States. Each city is home to people from different countries and cultures. Chicago, Illinois. Many people in Chicago come from Poland. Poland is a country in Europe. In a Polish community, you can see signs in Polish. You can smell Polish sausage. You can hear Polish music. Dance and music are an important part of Polish culture. One dance group works hard to teach people about Polish culture. The performers in the Polonia Ensemble share their culture through music and dance. They wear colorful, traditional costumes. They dance Polish dances, like the polka. They sing Polish songs. Polish dancers whirl in colorful costumes.
All right, so we're learning that in Chicago, there are many people who come from the country Poland and that they share their culture. An important part of that culture is music and dancing. Okay, let's continue.
The group contributes to the community all year long. The dancers march in parades. They dance at festivals. Sometimes they travel to other cities and countries to share Polish traditions. They want to share their customs with everyone they meet. Detroit, Michigan. People from many Middle Eastern countries live near Detroit. The people of the community contribute in many ways. One important way is with food. The three Seblini brothers came from Lebanon. They wanted to share their culture with the community. How did they share? They opened a bakery. Every day the brothers bake fresh pita and other Middle Eastern breads. They bake honey cake. They make spinach pie and stuffed grape leaves. The bakery is also a place to meet. People come from all over Detroit to enjoy food and friendship. Look again. When you look at our flag, think about the 50 states. Then think about the different people and cultures within each state. Think about all the traditions people share. Middle Eastern bread is baked fresh every day. It is served with meals.
All right, so in Detroit, we have lots of people from the Middle East, and this one family is sharing their tradition by opening a bakery and serving traditional baked foods.
Make connections. How do people from the Polish community contribute to life in Chicago? How can different cultures contribute to their communities?
So the people in Chicago contribute by sharing their Polish culture, marching in parades and doing performances to show part of their traditional culture. while in Detroit, we have the bakery. So people from all cultures can share in different ways by sharing traditions, by sharing traditional food, and by sharing their traditional celebrations. So we have people from all different cultures who can share with their communities. All right, let's stop sharing this one. And I will come back to you. Hello. And so now let's see if we can talk about some compound words. See if I can find this one. There we go. All right. So compound words. They're going back to our first story, which was Room to Grow, and looking at compound words. So what is a compound word? A compound word is a word that has two smaller words smushed together to make one word. So we put together the meanings of those words and we can figure out the meaning of our larger compound word. Okay, we're going to look for compound words in the passage and break the word into its two smaller words to figure out the meaning. Okay, one afternoon, Jill and her mother came to visit. Can you find a compound word there? One afternoon, Jill and her mother came to visit. Let's look at afternoon. Is after a word by itself? It is. Is noon a word by itself? It is. So after means that it comes later than, and noon is a time of day, which is 12 o'clock. So one afternoon, that means that it's some time that comes after 12 o'clock. See how it works? So we have a big long word that's a compound word, but we can break it into its smaller words to help us figure out what it means. So yes, it was one afternoon, okay? And we broke it into after and noon. Let's try this one. Figure out the meanings of the highlighted compound words. Use the type tool. We're not going to bother with that because we're just going to do this together. Okay, all the plants will get sunlight without making shade for the others. Sunlight. Okay, so what are the two words that we have smushed together to make a compound word? That's right, sun and light. So we know that light is the opposite of dark, and we know that the sun is a star in the sky. So we know that this means light made from the sun. Okay, let's look at the next one. At the end of the summer, we picked enough to have a cookout. So what are the two words that we smushed together to make the compound word cookout? Very good. Cook and out. So we know that cook means to prepare food, and out is the opposite of in, and in this case is talking about outside. So we are cooking outside. That's what this word means. All right, good job. Let's stop there. And I will come back to you. And now let me present our compound word worksheet for today, and we'll do the first one together. Can't seem to find that one. Let me try again. Okay, trying again. All right, I think we've got it now. All right, so here is a look at our worksheet for today. So our directions ask us to underline the compound word in each sentence, then write its definition. We can use a dictionary to help us. If we need one, you can find a dictionary online. You'd probably be okay without a dictionary for most of these. So let's look at number 1. His grandfather showed him how to walk softly through the woods. So we need to underline the compound word, then write its definition. Okay, let's see if we have. No, so we didn't give you anything to underline with. So we're going to skip underlining. And we're just going to type in the meaning of our word. So grandfather means a father who is grand, or the father of my father. That's what who is grand means in this case. That's what a grandfather is. Okay, so he liked to read storybooks. So your word for this one will be storybooks. For 3, there were plenty of bookshelves in the house full of books. So your compound word is bookshelves. For number 4, but he still lives in the hometown where he grew up. What's the compound word in this one? Right, it's hometown. Okay, so you will do these 3. Remember, we're not going to bother with underlining. We've tried that a few times and it hasn't really been that simple to drag the lines over. So we're just going to type the answer. And do remember to capitalize and use ending punctuation. All right, so we'll stop sharing this one. And we will move on to our Gary the Dreamer comprehension questions. If I can find that one. I think I found it. All right, let's make this one a bit bigger. All right, so Gary the Dreamer is the story we read yesterday. We've talked about sequencing. We've said it's the order in which important events take place, and that to help us understand sequencing, we can look for words like first, next, then, and finally to show the sequence of events. Gary tells of different parts of his life. Use the text to match the quote with the time he was describing. Then write what you remember about your life at that time. All right, so I have to go back to a bit smaller so we can see what we're going to drag over. So let's do the first one together. What did Gary like to do when he was a little boy? So let's look at our boxes and see which one of those. I learned my colors. I learned to tie my shoes and be nice. We collected money to help children in Africa. I practiced writing the alphabet. I was a good reader. I loved picture books. I played tag with the neighborhood kids and played hide and seek. So we're going to need to go back to our story, Gary the Dreamer, and reread the beginning where he talks about what he liked to do when he was a little boy. And I see that he says, I played tag with the neighborhood kids. I played hide and seek. I played catch with oranges. So I have found my text evidence that shows me that the one that I need is this one. I need to drag this one over. And remember, we were working on the very first one. What did he like to do when he was a little boy? Okay, so that's the first part. Then you're going to type, what do you remember liking when you were little? So let's see. You're going to type your own here, but I might type something like, I liked playing with my dog because I had a dog, a spotted dog, when I was little, and his name was Spot. Okay, so you're just going to write something you remember liking when you were little. Okay, and I'm going to take this part out because you didn't necessarily have a dog named Spot that you liked playing with when you were little. All right, so you're going to complete the rest of this worksheet by dragging the boxes over for the first part and then typing something that you remember about that time in your life for the others. All right, let's stop sharing this one. Come back to you. Right, and remember that I am here to help you. Send me an email if you need help, or just show up on the meet between 1 and 2, and I'll just be there waiting to help you out. So I hope you enjoyed both stories today. The Gary the Dreamer that we read yesterday, you might want to go back and look at that again, and our Sharing Polka's and Pia's story. So have a great day, and I will see you later.